that, if adopted, would slow the economy's growth in ways that would ultimately be damaging to the middle class. But David, I think it's very, very important that Democrats be a big tent party. Successful political enterprises in the United States are not cohesive. During the period of the Democratic Party's greatest success, the 20-year hold on the presidency, from Roosevelt through Truman, 1932 to 1952, the party spanned progressive, ardent New Dealers who were for national health insurance and hardcore segregationists in the South. God knows we don't want to go back to that or anything like that. But I think the party should have range for people from different places, people from very different views. And if this is the kind of governance that the people of New York want, I think it's valuable to see how it plays out. All of us should be wishing Mr. Mondani well, given the importance of New York to our national economy. But where we don't want to go is towards any kind of purity test, where only a certain set of beliefs are acceptable if you want to be in the Democratic Party or if you want to be a respected candidate of the Democratic Party. And so I hope other Democrats will respect and recognize Mr. Mondani's mandate. But I also hope that as the elections go forward, there'll be recognition that there are people with very different views, frankly, views that I think are more likely to contribute to economic success, that people with those views will also be standard bearers for the Democratic Party.
President Trump has demonstrated his ability to really motivate his base. The Democrats recently have not seemed to have the same ability. Could other Democrats potentially learn from Mr. Mamdani? Because he has certainly spoken in New York City to people's really desires about having more affordable ways of living.
I don't think so, David. I think there are a variety of special circumstances in New York City in terms of what that population is. I think there are some particular dynamics around this race and the candidates who opposed Mr. Mondani. As I study the data, and I have relatively closely, the people who one needs to win back are not people who are drawn to socialist ideas or to radical ideas of any kind. They're people who actually are focused in very ordinary ways on their own lives, on not on what's happening in the Middle East, but on being able to afford the rent, or being able to meet the grocery bill, or being able to pay for toys for their kids. And so I think speaking in less ideological, very practical ways about the challenges people have in their lives is the route to success. And I have to say that I think the democratic socialist set of ideas, except in a few parts of the country, are really not the right route forward. So I think the right thing for people like me to do is to respect those with those ideals, to recognize that those may be consensus or prevailing choices in certain parts of the country, certainly not to try to read them out of our party in any way, but also to insist that that way, the Mondani way, the AOC way, the Bernie Sanders way, cannot be the only way for the Democratic Party. And if there's an attempt to universalize it, I fear that the winner will be President Trump and those who follow his way of thinking.
That does it for us here at Wall Street Week. I'm David Weston. See you next week for more stories of capitalism.
It's really important for AAPI stories to be told.
When we search for who we are.
It's so amazing, the family history I never knew.
When the journey.
This was the beginning of our journey to seek the American dream.
Brings us home.
Just getting those stories out there, that can be a very powerful thing.
World. Breaking through.
I'm David Weston. Join me for the next generation of Wall Street Week, telling stories of capitalism from business, markets, economics, tech, and climate. Each week, we'll go on the road for a look at what lies behind the headlines of today and what will likely be the headlines tomorrow.
Above all else, it's a mission.
It's done nothing but grow immensely.
To me, that's an extraordinary sign.
We can be the change that we want to see.
Watch the all-new Wall Street Week. More than what you need to know, it's what you need to think about.
If you take a moment, you can see the world change.
Massive attacks using missiles and drones.
Stories that link all of us. Make sense of our lives. So we can move forward. Widening horizons.
Let's go, baby. Come on.
Whoa, that's a mystery.
Please turn the page.
Are you kidding me?
How did you even find this? That's mind-blowing. You have unleashed the best storytelling ever.
Here's your book of life.
Oh my goodness.
I can tell you where I come from. Through history books, they say we came across some land bridge, and we always said we never did. We've always been here. Each clan has their own history. Our clan is called the Shungukadi clan. Years and years and years ago, there were 5 boys and 1 girl up at the sun. Their father was the sun. And their father, the sun, said, we're going to lower you back down to the ground down here because that's where your people's from. They never left their father before. So he said, I'm going to make you a big basket. I'm going to make it big enough to hold 7 and a little bit more, and I'm going to lower you down from the sun. And he had made the dog go with him. The dog's name was Ha-Ha. He said, if you guys ever get scared, anything at all, pull the string and I'll pull you back up.
When I went through the basic training, our first sergeant, he come across a couple of Indians on base there, and he says, you give me 20 push-ups. He was telling those Indians. He didn't say anything to those white soldiers. Colonel come over. How come you're so tough on the Indians? He said, I know these Indians.